Okay, so that's the deck. So let's look at it real quick and see what we would do. The standard thing, the first thing that I look for on all of these is to fix the lands normally, right? They do give you 4 glacial floodplains for the Kaldheim, but no, just one pathway. So if you do have all 4 pathways, they put those in, and that way you get the mana you need. We didn't have a big problem too much this week with using this deck and having the wrong color mana with the wrong color spells. The right color land came along pretty quickly. There are certain things that I like about this deck. I like Portable Hull being in the deck. That's a good fit with Stonebinder's Familiar. Luminarch Aspirant is grayed out because they changed it for the Alchemy card and made it, you put a +1 counter at the end of your turn instead of at the beginning of combat. So this is the original card we got that they gave us with the deck before they altered the card. Karfell Harbinger didn't even really come up that much. It's hard to tell how useful that card is. So if you're looking to get rid of something, I would probably get rid of one of these. Do we really want a zombie wizard? I don't know. Elite Spellbinder is always a good utility card. The 3 expels come in handy. Sometimes on like the tougher decks that you face in the meta, like the mono whites and the green-white life gains, having 3 expels is not enough. So I might get rid of a Karfell Harbinger and put in a Doomscar as a board wipe, because sometimes you just need one. Skyclave Apparition is pretty good. Grezlok's good if you can get him down. It's hard sometimes. Some games it can be really tough to get him down and actually get him to have one of your creatures, attack and deal combat damage, so you can start your card draw. The 3 Sought Cummings is good to have in your deck. These work out very well with Vega. And this is the star of the deck, really, is the card draw advantage that you get. You foretell all your cards, then you cast them with Vega out on the board, and you get to draw, just basically get a card back for every card you play. And that's just lovely when that engine starts. So that's probably my favorite part of the whole thing. Starnheim Unleashed, only 1 copy, but it can be a game winner. It can turn a game from, you could be down to 1 point of health, and if you get 3 creatures out that are 4/4 vigilance with flying, and guess what? You just won the game. That happens. Augury Raven's good. It's good that they put a lot of flying in this deck, so Augury Raven is good just for that as well. Behold the Multiverse is as good a strike card as any. Only 1 Cosmos Charger, but one of my favorites and one that I always want to put into a foretelling deck just because of the cost efficiency. You can foretell cards for 1 less, which means most of your cards you can foretell for 1 mana instead of 2. So if you do get a good card draw going, whereas you'd only be able to foretell 1 or 2 cards, you could foretell like 5 or 6 cards all of a sudden. So Cosmos Charger is lovely if you get it down and it manages to stay. I'm not sure about McKindy Stampede. I mean, it helps a little bit with Fearless Fledglings. You have 3 copies of that. Sometimes you just want another land, but you already have 24 lands. I used the +2/+2, but honestly, a lot of times when you use McKindy Stampede as opposed to the Mesa for the land, you've already won the game. You're just speeding things up a lot of times because it's not instant, it's a sorcery, so they see it coming and they know what's going on. So you really have to know your board state and know that you've already got the advantage before you use it. So it's tough to have 2 of those in one deck. I would probably get rid of 1 of these at least and 1 of these, and either you can put in a 4 Sought Coming. You can put in maybe a 4th Expel, or maybe have 2 Doomscars in the deck instead. I do like the God's Hall Guardian, having 2 of those, 3/6 Vigilance. Sometimes just having 1 of those out can put a halt to an entire army of mono red goblins that doesn't want to lose anybody. So actually the Luminarch Aspirant didn't come up a single time, I don't think. So, but yeah, the deck, I didn't think I would enjoy it too much. I mean, at first I wanted to enjoy it. The first time I took it out for a spin, maybe I didn't understand how it worked all that well together. And I'd say that I was underwhelmed, and I thought it was a bad deck, especially comparing with the previous batch of 10 pre-made decks that we got. You had cards like Kiorabes the Sea God, and that's like a massive, game-turning card, and we don't have anything like that in this deck, obviously. There's just nothing even close. So there's no rampaging Brontodon, there's no Gigantosaurus. There's none of these massive stunning cards, right? But the fact is, if you get it, it's kind of like gambling with this deck. Okay, it has to be in a certain order. If you get Stonebinder's Familiar out, it works really well to start foretelling cards. If you get Cosmos Charger out, it becomes really cheap to foretell those cards. If you get Vega out, starting to cast those cards from the foretold area and replenishing the cards is awesome. And if you can get you know, the removal when you need it, the solid comings and the expels, sometimes you got them in your hand and it works out perfect, and other times they're just not there. So the whole deck feels like a gamble. It did better than I thought, and it seems to have absolutely no problem with mono red goblins. So if you're still facing a lot of those, go ahead and just have this deck handy and get rid of those guys. Yeah, it's not a top tier deck, but it's not bad to take out for a spin. I kind of enjoyed it, and really most of what I'm looking to do is just get one Vega out there and start the machine running, and that's the goal. So we'll leave it there. Come back next week for another. We'll probably do the next in the series. I'm not sure which of the pre-made decks we'll do, but you know, we're having fun doing it. Hopefully you got some good gameplay this week and got to see some of the strengths and weaknesses of the deck. And don't be afraid to use it and play it and have fun. Remember to like and subscribe. Show the videos to a friend, bring somebody back to join our audience, and have a good one.